Today, Ken talks with Luciano Darden after a win at the ATP US Clay Court Championship. Luciano is currently number 64 in the world. In addition, Ken speaks with Leif Shiras, former ATP player and current announcer for ESPN and the Tennis Channel. Please subscribe to the channel and give Ken a like if you enjoy the podcast. Now, here is Ken Thomas.
Just a quick little interview here with a tough nails clay court player, man. Luciano Darden, welcome to Radio Tennis, man.
Hey, hello everyone. I am very happy to be here in Houston. So it's very exciting for playing the first time here.
Nice job, man. What are your thoughts? Just your general thoughts on today's match.
Yeah, today was different because it's a little bit of sun and the clay was a little bit faster, I think. He was a good player with experience, so I played good on the second set on the last 3 or 4 games. So I think this one was the key for coming back in the match, and taking 2 match point downs was really hard.
You're having a great year, huh? Tell us, what are your thoughts on the year?
Yeah, the last year I finished playing really good in Challenger, and this year on February I started to play really good on clay in Córdoba. So that feeling was amazing, giving to me a lot of confidence for the 2024. So I'm very happy about the start of the 24 on clay.
Sitting at 75 in the world, aren't you?
Yeah, 75. So it was amazing for me. It's like 2 months ago, so it's really special.
Are you thinking French Open? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think for me it's a really special tournament, Roma, and then Roland Garros is 2 more special tournaments on the next 2 months. So I will prepare for this.
Very good. What were your thoughts when you're down match point there? You saved 3, right? You saved 3 match points. Was it 3?
Yeah, no, true. 2.
2?
15-40.
Yeah. Okay. What were your thoughts on those match points?
I was thinking it was hard, but I was thinking I was point by point. So I said if I serve good, I can go to the tiebreak. It was lucky, no, because it's match point. But I was thinking positive. I think this is the key.
That kick serve to the ad court's wicked, man. Do you use that all the time? Do you hit that all the time?
I use a lot when the backhand of the opponent is like flat. So I think Dennis, he's playing a lot of flat backhand for changing a little bit with the server. I think this good kick for then playing the forehand to the other side. I think this is a good couple.
It worked all day, didn't it?
Yeah,
it really worked.
It's working.
I think Kula's going to see that serve in his sleep tonight, is what I think. I got one question from our listeners out there, and then I'll let you go. Who was your tennis inspiration?
My tennis inspiration when I was young was Del Potro.
Del Potro?
Because I'm half from Argentina and half from Italy, so I think this is my idol from when I was juniors, and then after I think Federer was amazing, like looking playing.
Gotcha. Have you met either one?
Yeah, in the tournaments, but I never speak with them.
Gotcha, man. I'll let you go. Thank you so much. Beautiful job today. Again, all the way. Where in Italy are you living? Are you
in Fano? It's in the beach. So
nice, man.
Yeah.
All right, keep it going.
Thank you
everyone, very much.
See you next match.
There you go.
What is this?
Bag tags. Thank you very much. All right, there you go. There you go, huh? Short and sweet. I'd want to get into the locker room. I'd want to get into the air conditioning. So there you go. His inspiration, Del Potro, because he's part Argentinian. Del Potro, man, he had that hammer forehand, didn't he? Folks, the one and only Leif Shiras. Leif, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Kenny. Great to see you here. Glad you're a part of this event. I mean, I'm excited to be a part of this event, too. So I figured I'd better get out here and see you.
We haven't seen each other in a while.
I know.
I saw you in Indian Wells. You were working hard in Indian Wells, man.
We were busy. It was great. It was great to be a part of the Tennis Channel coverage there. I'm here with the ESPN crew this time, but it's really nice to be back in Houston. We were here for a number of years. Things change in the world of tennis, so it's been a while. Nice to be back.
How you been, man? How you been? How's life?
Doing great. Great. Kids are getting older. Still trying to hit a good forehand, but it's coming.
Now your kids are. I remember one of them was an athlete for sure, right? Was he a pole vaulter or something? What was he?
No, he played a little bit of hoops.
Okay.
My other son played tennis mostly, but they all played a little bit of tennis.
Yeah.
But they're moving on. They're in finance. They got honest occupations.
There you go, man.
I'm still in the tennis world.
Yeah. Leif, I got to tell you, man. by the way, Leif and I kind of go back to our junior years, right? I mean, we're both roughly the same age, and we come out of the Midwest, and we kind of passed each other every once in a while.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, we're proud of our Midwest tradition. Pete Holterman, who's the media sort of king around here, he's from Wauwatosa originally.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we got a lot of cheese represented around here.
Listen,
and Alex Mickelson is here. Now, he's my hometown in California, in Laguna Hills. But nice to see Alex doing well. Nice to see young guys who you know locally, whether it's California, Milwaukee, wherever it might be.
Do you still hit the ball? Do you still get out there and hit the ball?
I try to, yeah. Whenever my body is agreeable.
Ain't it the truth, man? Look at this, man. Look at this. Ooh. I got the whole new knee here right here.
Ken is showing me his knee, and there's a large scar running from top to bottom.
Isn't that beautiful? Brand new knee, though. I'm 2 months into it. I got a road ahead of me, so I'm still trying, man. Leif, I want to talk to you about one of your best events, the grass courts at Eastbourne?
Queens Club at 84. Yeah.
Tell our listeners about that, because what a great run we had.
Right. I mean, that was sort of, my arrival on the tennis scene, I think, particularly, on the grass and such a big stage as Queens, which is now an ATP 500 event. And I showed up for qualifying on the Saturday before, and they said, "Oh, Mr. Shiras, you got in directly. There was a withdrawal, so you moved into the main draw." So I avoided having to play qualifying. They put me in the main draw, and I showed up the next day after practicing. They go, "Oh, Mr. Shiras, your name was put in the draw, which is nice, but you're drawn against Ivan Lendl in the first round." Really? Yeah, and Lendl was in the process of beating John McEnroe on that Sunday in Paris, France, his first major title, one of the great championship matches of all time. John had him 2-0. Lendl fought back, won it, and actually with that win, he also surmounted the number 1 spot in the ranking. So I had to play the world number 1.
French Open champion.
French Open champion in the first round. The good news is Lendl was not a great grass courter at that time. And, he came in a little bit weary. I think I played him on a Wednesday. He got a couple days of rest. And I remember in the match, he was still sort of kicking the clay out of his shoes, on the grass. So I'm thinking, I maybe have a shot here. And I was probably a poor man's, out of Stefan Edberg or maybe Tim Henman, an attacking player. Yeah. So I could, cause a few problems if I played well. And I was playing pretty well at that time. And I think I'd won a money tournament coming in, so I had a little bit of, momentum having won matches. And I beat Lendl 7-5, 6-3. And it was just, Lendl had not yet been embraced as this guy who, was endeared to by the fans. Yeah. Like Connors and Mack, and these guys were quite popular. Yeah. And
what do you remember about that match?
Well, I just remember that, I held serve and I got a break. I was very nervous, very nervous. And I just remember serving for the match, 7-5, 5-3, I think it was in the second. And, just very nervous, hands shaking. And, trying to hide the fact that I was so nervous. But
what a beautiful win, though, man.
It was great. And so the good news after that, yes, it was wonderful. And, of course, the British press knew that I was an English major coming out of Princeton University. And, I was a good writer, not a great writer, and not a great student. In fact, my sons, they laugh at me when I show them my transcript from Princeton. So I don't have a lot to brag about in terms of academics, but I was an English major. And, so they labeled me Shakespeare Shiras, and, they really embraced me because I'd beaten, the big bad Ivan Lendl. And the good news, too, I ended up getting to the finals, which was great.
Do you remember anyone else that you got?
Well, I beat Brian. I was called the Giant Killer because I beat Brian Teacher, who was a top tenor.
Australian Open champion?
Exactly. He had a match point on me. I won that. I beat Guy Forget, another guy over 6 feet tall. I beat Rodney Harmon, the American. I think I played him in the quarterfinals maybe. And, Rodney's a tough player, very tall, very athletic, and I got him. So I had a nice run, and I ended up playing a guy by the name of John McEnroe in the championship match. So I'm sure the press was hoping that they were going to have another story of this kid from, a city where it's mostly beer and cows flowing. And anyways.
Tell us about the Mac match. Tell us about that.
It was very exciting, very nerve-wracking. I mean, the crowd gave us a wonderful ovation as you walk out of the clubhouse, down the stairs, onto the grass court. A very, very cool environment. And I lost the first set. I didn't feel comfortable. Second set, I started playing pretty well. I got a break, incredibly enough, on Mac. Won the second set. it was the Reader's Digest version. I was playing great, and John was getting a little irritated. At the end, right around the end of the second set, he went into this tirade where he dragged the referees over, and he brought, had the chair umpire, and there were 3 or 4 of these officials standing around, and John was lighting into all of them. And I was sitting there just going, I can't believe he's getting away with it. He should have been defaulted by, the rules
there
nowadays.
You go.
He would have been defaulted. I would have had the title.
There you go.
As it was, he, got back out on the court. I won the set, but he was pretty upset about things, so I think he hunkered down. I did have the first break points in the third. I do remember that. He served out wide, and I had a pretty good backhand. That was my best shot. I hit this beautiful backhand up the line, and it was going in. I'm thinking, okay, I've got I think it was a 2-0 lead maybe in the third, and it just clipped the tape. It was one of those that clipped the tape and it went wide of the line. And that was sort of that little window of opportunity to slam shut, because Mac got very serious, man, and he played brilliant tennis, and I think he beat me 6-2, maybe 6-3.
What a story, man.
He got to raise that huge trophy, biggest trophy in tennis, the Queen's Trophy. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Take a look at it for any of your listeners. It's really a fun spot. But
how much money? Do you remember what the check was?
I think I made $17,000.
There you go.
Which was good for that.
Real good.
Do you know? Well, I think one year at Wimbledon, I got to the 4th round of Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good, right?
I saw you play that year.
Oh, really?
I saw you beat that kid from Chicago in the second round.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that because I played that kid, lost to him, and then I saw you. Here's what I remember. I may have told you this a long time ago.
Right.
But I knew what a good guy you were, because I remember you going out for that match. I wish I could remember that young man's name. Kierton. No.
Something.
He's from Chicago, though.
Yeah, I remember him. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah,
right
God bless him. And I just remember watching you, and you would go out and you would shake your opponent's hand.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
I don't think I'd met him.
You were a gentleman, man. You were a gentleman out there.
Good guy.
Yeah. I thought, Leif Shiras, what a class dude. I wouldn't be talking to anybody. Leif introduces himself, shakes his hand. Well, what a wonderful career you had.
Yeah. That was a good run, but you know how much prize money I made? I looked it up, and I think it was $25,000. That was after tax. I'm just saying, God, that's now 4th round at Wimbledon, I think it's $225.
You're just born the wrong time.
The money is good now.
Yeah.
At the majors, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
The guys deserve it. Those tournaments are doing very well. The licenses for broadcasting have exploded. There's a fair amount of money in these things now. So look at the NBA, right?
Yeah.
The players get almost 49% of the revenue, so that's why these guys make so much money. Pretty fair.
Yeah.
I think in tennis, the men and the women, I think we maybe get 14%. That's not much.
Yeah.
And we used to be in the 8-9. I think it's going the right direction, but I think there's more to be shared there for the players. But, I think the money's pretty good, so I wouldn't be complaining if I were playing. If you play all the 4 majors, you're probably going to pull close to $400,000.
Yeah.
$350 maybe, depending on the dollar exchange, some of the taxes maybe, but money's good right now, and deservedly so. The sport's grown, getting a lot of exposure. It's a serious business.
When you look at this tournament this year, Leif, when you look at that draw, what do you see? What do you think? Here, in Houston.
I feel like Francis Tiafoe needs a good run.
Yeah.
He hasn't been playing great this season. Coming in as a defending champ, I think he'll feel a bit of pressure. But I've always thought Francis was really good on clay. I like how he moves. I like his game. And I know a lot of the tennis he played as a junior in College Park, Maryland, was on clay. So I think I like his chances, but it's a strong field.
Yeah. Anyone else? What do you think of Ben?
I love Ben.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much he's played on clay, what kind of experience he has. I think he's got a big game, so much talent. He's got a bit of a swagger, which is nice. You've got to have something that's going to, sort of make you believe you can do great things, and he has that. Cerundolo is this Argentine player, number 2 seed. Dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's very skilled. So there's a lot of talent out here. And now you're following this Michael Moe match?
Yeah.
This is a good one, too.
Yeah.
I love watching Michael play. Great athlete, great competitor.
A lot of new faces.
Yeah, I think we've got 14 players making their debut.
Really?
So it's a pretty exciting time here at River Oaks. And you know what? The crowd really embraces it. The community, the club. Houston's a great tennis town.
Yeah. I didn't really – I was here. We were doing the qualies.
Yes.
That was filled every day for the qualies.
Isn't that great?
Every day, man.
I love where you're sitting. You've got this great.
You like this?
I'm visiting. He's got a look over this parapet of all the field courts, the practice courts, and this is 3, right?
This is 3.
3, and then you can get a look at.
Yeah.
Is that 4?
I don't know what. Oh,
Yeah, there's another court over there. So there's a lot to see out here, particularly in these early days when you got action on all the courts.
But the crowds here are,
Unreal.
Really a whole different level almost. They're really great.
Can you have a better setting on a day like today? It was quite breezy yesterday.
Yeah.
Today it's a little calmer. We're surrounded by beautiful red clay courts with black fencing, beautiful black fencing. The golf course to the left, trees surrounding us all over. It's
Not a bad neighborhood either.
It's a great neighborhood.
It's kind of a high rent neighborhood
Yeah.
here. You know?
You drive down the main road up to the clubhouse and you feel like you're coming into the Masters, that kind of feel.
Exactly.
Very green and very lush and very, it's a comfortable neighborhood. It's moneyed, but it looks lovely.
I was doing a tournament in Toronto, and you reached out to me. You have a place in Toronto? Do you spend time in Toronto?
My wife is from Toronto.
Yeah.
Maria, and we've got a condo in the city, and it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's nice having a condo. You don't have to worry about watering the plants as much.
You just got to pay that association fee, man.
That's the job.
That's the first thing I look at. What's the association fee?
That was one of our things too. We didn't want to be spending $1,500 a month on association dues. We found a nice place. It's I've got the Canadian dollar working my way, but it's a lovely city. I hope it can survive the tough times they're going through. They got some inflationary things going on that are challenging people, and I think the world is being challenged at this time.
Yeah,
So we're fortunate to be a part of the tennis community. I don't think we're impervious to it, but we want everyone to be happy.
Leif,
right?
you do a great job, man.
Hey, thanks, man.
You really do.
But
And
I hope
I'll let you go.
Can you bring
man.
me back? I'd love to come back. I've just got to go. I'm calling the 3rd match.
Are you?
So I've got to make my way over to
Thanks
the
for
stadium.
stopping by.
Hey, I hope I didn't interrupt your.
Leif Shiras, everybody. The
Broadcast.
great Leif Shiras. Hall of Fame. What'd you make? The Midwest Hall of Fame, right? Or what'd you make?
Midwest Hall of Fame.
There you go.
And then the College Tennis Hall of Fame.
Did you?
Yeah. Although when it comes to the International Tennis Hall of Fame in Rhode Island, I have to buy a ticket, like everyone else. Although I am a voter. I vote for the Hall of Fame, which is nice, which in the player category, which is nice. We've got a great year this season, started celebrating Indian tennis with Leander Paes going in, Vijay Amritraj. And do you remember the great writer, Richard Evans?
Yeah.
A wonderful sort of a man who's been a part of our sport for so long.
Yeah,
so
he
nice
was a
that
really good writer. Yeah,
exactly.
you're right.
And he's doing great still. You can find him on Twitter. That's where writers seem to do a lot of their work. But thanks for having me,
The
my
great
man.
Leif Shiras from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Jeez.
Yeah, all right. There you go, buddy. Thank you so much, man.
All right, man. See ya.
Thanks. Very nice, you, Leif. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for listening to Radio Tennis, the podcast. Please thumbs up and subscribe. Also, check out the streaming broadcast site at radiotennis.com for great live tennis presented by Ken. All the streaming broadcasts are free, no sign-up required. New sessions are being added all the time, and there is a full archive for listening to great tennis events from the past on demand. Radio Tennis is the best free streaming service for tennis, hands down. From everyone at Radio Tennis, have a great day, and we will see you at our next podcast or live stream.